Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Let me tell you something. Sometime in life you need to upgrade. So we upgrade too. So viewers, tonight, mid-year budget review. That is a big thing in Trinidad and Tobago presently. So Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has announced that the mid-year budget review will be presented on June 15, 2026. She noted that this will be followed by a series of other presentations during this week as the Finance Bill 2026 will be presented on Wednesday, 10th of June, 2026. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
We return next Wednesday when the Finance Bill 2026 will be debated. That bill is to give effect to measures that were announced in the 2025-26 budget. Thereafter, we will come for the Standing Finance Committee, which will be convened on on Friday. So Wednesday first for the Finance Bill, and that will be convened at about 10:30 a.m. And then on Friday for the Standing Finance Committee at 1:30 p.m. and thereafter in the following week for debate on the Supplementary Appropriation Bill variation and supplementation.
So viewers, the PM also outlined the schedule for the upcoming parliamentary proceeding in the lead up to the mid-year review. Also, she stated that an additional $2.93 billion in supplementary appropriation was needed to cover increased wages for more than 62,000 workers. So Trinidad and Tobago, she is asking for $2.93 billion. This is supplementary money. Why does she need this? To pay an increased wage to more than 62,000 people. So who is going to benefit from this $2.93 billion? 62,000 people. Listen to this.
That supplementary bill that will be coming is to ask for more money. $2.93 billion in supplementation to meet the bills of Trinidad and Tobago in this fiscal year 25-26. Out of that $2.93 billion that we are asking for, $2.83 billion is recurrent, and it will apply to the new wages and salaries that we have been paying. I already told you over 60,000 persons are getting increased salaries, and so we have to find the money.
So viewers, 62,000 people is going to benefit. But nevertheless, another update for you. Minister of Defense Wayne Sturge has moved to take legal action against opposition MP Marvin Gonzalez over allegations that he came into power by being funded by drug traffickers and drug dealers. In a pre-action protocol letter dated Monday, 8 June 2026, Sturge's attorney accused MP Gonzalez of making false and unjustified statement at a June 3rd public meeting in Sawa. The legal team, Freedom Law Chambers, led by former Attorney General and Senior Counsel Anand Ramlogan, said the claim was broadcast live on a PNM's Facebook page to a wider audience and has caused serious harm to Sturge's reputation. So Trinidad and Tobago, imagine this, Imagine this. So, it's sad, you know, viewers. It's sad when you hear things like this taking place in our country. MPs coming out, making accusations. But you know what will be more thrilled? As if there is evidence. But nevertheless, we leave in that to the law. Let them handle that. So, moving to THA. Tobago House of Assembly, THA's Secretary Farley, not Farley, but Secretary of Finance, Patel and Robinson, has confirmed that the Tobago House of Assembly will present its annual budget on Monday, June 22nd, 2026, with the annual budget on Monday, June 22nd, 2026, with the debate schedule for Thursday, June 25th, 2026. Robert explained the budget will be presented against the backdrop of the Pathway for Prosperity, the blueprint for Tobago's 2026 to 2030, in which part of a larger 20-year development plan. Trinidad and Tobago, and listen to this.
Rather than relying on traditional, purely economic factors, the blueprint produces a human-centered development philosophy and balances social progress with cultural preservation, economic diversification, and environmental integrity. Rather than relying on traditional, purely economic factors, the blueprint produces a human-centered.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, into our current affairs segment. The Trinidad and Tobago will be under state of emergency, an SOE, until September, after government announced that it will go to Parliament on Wednesday to extend the current SOE for another 3 months. The Attorney General's office made the announcement after Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar met with the National Security Council last Friday to review a number of reports which highlighted significant local and international threats to state security. The announcement to extend the SOE came days before it was to extend on June 17th. And the extension is the latest in continued SOEs in Trinidad and Tobago. The government first SOE began 3 months into tenure in July 2025. The PM announced a second SOE on March 3rd, 2026. This follows an increase in violent crime activity attributed to organized criminal gangs. The PM also responded to criticism from the opposition and other critics who said her administration management of the war on crime is only focused in the implementation of state of emergency. She also spoke for a decreased by 42% in 2025. Listen to this, viewers.
When we assumed office, the nation had recorded more than 625 murders in the preceding year, the highest level in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. My government is doing what is necessary and will continue to be guided by the National Security Council advice on the way forward. The murder rate dropped by 42% in 2025. Thus far in 2026, serious crimes have dropped by 30% compared to the same period last year.
So viewers, switching gears a bit now, opposition leader Penelope Beckles have reaffirmed her party's disapproval for another SOE extension. In a release, it stated that the opposition rejects the intention of oppression. A state of emergency was never meant to become permanent governance, Beckles said. PNM Chief Whip Marvin Gonzalez also said the opposition will defend the country against government that is using an SOE to suppress the constitutional rights of the citizens. Independent Senator Anthony Vieira has also stated that as a matter of constitutional principle, the burden rests on the state to justify why it must continue a state of emergency, since an SOE is not intended to become a normal framework for governance.
That a state of emergency is an extraordinary situation. It's not meant to continue indefinitely. And I think that the government really now has a burden of proof to try and convince the population that it is needed. To just say we have serious crime, I don't think is enough. They will have to now come, I think, with some data, something to show outcomes, why it is necessary. Because at the end of the day, the Constitution expects that people's fundamental rights and freedoms will be the norm. State of emergency is the exception.
So Trinidad and Tobago, my question to you, do you think the SOE has been fruitful thus far? Do you think an extension is necessary? So viewers, ask yourself this tonight. Do you think we, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, needs another SOE? Now, why didn't the Prime Minister, together with Wayne Sturge and Homeland Security Minister, had a public meeting? Come out and tell the citizens statistics, data, not hearsay, she say, and them say. We want data where the public could actually go and check to verify and make sure that what she said, or what Wayne said, or what Roger Alexander said is actually facts. And hence the reason why now, after viewing these facts, they could go to Parliament and extend an SOE. You see, you want to come with an SOE. Nothing wrong with that, all well and good. But the public is seeing an increase in crime. They are seeing an increase in murder. They are seeing child kidnapping, children murdered. This is what the public is seeing. Now, my job is just to bring the reality to you, what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. My job is to bring it to you. But what Trinidad and Tobago citizen needs to see is proof. We need to see facts. That they say, hearing. Faith comes by hearing. Well, we in Trinidad, we actually need to see hard evidence in order to extend an SOE. And if the evidence is not there, well, then we're spinning top and mud. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on. There's lots more when we return.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. When life throws you a curveball. And you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
Gentlemen, welcome back to Real Talk. So remember, viewers, Real Talk Financing is offering you 7% on a fixed deposit. It has been extended because of the demand by the people. And you know, when something is demand and it benefits the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, we give it to you. So viewers, remember, 7% on a fixed deposit at Real Talk Financing. Nowhere else in Trinidad and Tobago you are going to get that. So viewers, 2386716, 3391670, 2677325. Remember. Get your 7%. Contact me at 2677325. I can give you more information if you desire. And we're good to go. Also, if you're looking for equipment to rent Trinidad and Tobago, you're looking for excavator to buy, Real Talk Equipment Rental. We have excavators for sale. We have excavator to rent Trinidad and Tobago. So if you have a project, you don't have an excavator, you don't have a contractor, you can contact us. Contact me at 2677325 and we can talk business. Trinidad and Tobago, well, you know, we're back into the buying and selling vehicles and stuff. So you can contact me. We have some vehicles for sale. And we could go forward from there. So we have a Kia van, we have 1 or 2 vehicles in the yard. Those of you passing carrying Savannah Road, you can stop and check it out, viewers. 50%, 60% down payment, and we'll finance you. And the vehicle is yours. The vehicle is yours. Easy work, you pay, and that's it. So as we go back into our news tonight. So Trinidad and Tobago also, I have a yacht that is for sale. Also, it's a beautiful yacht. It's an Italian made. Yeah, very expensive. Porsche thing. Proper thing. If you're looking for a yacht to rent to go down the island, you can contact me, viewers. We at Real Talk, we have decided to sell our yacht. We want to get something bigger, you know. You know, the company growing, Real Talk Financing growing. Real Talk Equipment Rental, we're growing. So we decided to put our boat for sale. Those of you interested, you can contact me at 2677325. I will give you some price, dates, and time. Also, if you want a yacht to buy, you know, a friend of the family of the Caribbean, you're looking for a yacht to buy, this is the perfect 50 feet Italian-made yacht. The best. So as we go back to our, you see, look at the interior. Look at the interior in this beautiful boat in Trinidad and Tobago. Prestige, you know. Well, you know, Saieed only own prestige vehicles. But nevertheless. So as we start back our story tonight, Trinidad and Tobago. PNM MP, Clongenbert, is now warning the citizens, business owners, and operators across several sectors will face more taxes as government move to increase penalties through Finance Bill 2026. Imbert said the opposition received notice that the Finance Bill contained 31 clauses And at least half of these clauses seek to increase fines under a number of pieces of the legislations. He said, the same government that said it would reduce fines and penalties was now bringing finance bills that increase fines under the Gambling and Betting Act, the Forest Act, under the Sawmill Act, among others. Imbert said some of the increase ranges from 50% as much as 400%. Listen to Imbert.
Is now bringing a Finance Act, and they're increasing the fines under the Gambling and Betting Act. They're increasing the fines under the Forest Act, under the Sawmills Act, on the Conservation of Wildlife, or under the Animal Importation Act, under the distilleries, under the registration of clubs, under the Pharmacy Board, under the Pesticides Act, and so on and so on. When one, under the Shipping Act, under the Launches Act. When I look at the increases, every increase is at least 50%, and one increase is 400%.
So I ask myself, Colin Imbert, a former Minister of Finance, came out to tell Trinidad and Tobago that this government is raising taxes. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, what the present government is doing is they are increasing fines. It is not a tax. I want to let you understand something. This is not a tax. This is increased fines. It's not something new. Don't be misled by Clongenberg. All Clongenberg had to do under the administration was raise gas once, raise it 2 times, raise it 3 times. The citizens then riot and they think they will raise it a 4th time. While they were laughing at the Baji and the Baigan people. All you remember that? All you remember that, Trinidad and Tobago? So what the UNC government is doing presently, what they brought in the finance bill is fines that were already there. They have increased it. That is what they are doing. Now, the government wants $2.93 billion to pay 62,000 workers an increase. We do not have a boom in the oil industry or the gas sector in Trinidad and Tobago because when Clongenberg was in power or finance, we always had a boom. We always had a boom. But they left the country in deficit. In deficit. Owing millions of dollars. We always had a boom until they could never pay contractors. We always had a boom until price increased. I want to let you remember, my job is to make sure you remember. Now, what is taking place is sawmillers, for who have sawmill, if you're paying $50,000 for a year, they have raised an example to 150. Let's just say that. It is for you to keep in line and also to generate cash revenue. Now, at the end of the day, Trinidad and Tobago, we all citizens have to pay more. We all have to pay more. So what I let you understand is not a new tax. It's an increase in fines. That is what they are doing. Because over the week, or since this came out, I've been hearing people, new taxes, new taxes, new taxes. It is not new taxes. It's an increased fine. A new tax is when you have a product that was never taxed before, they add a tax to it. That is a new tax. What the UNC government is doing, and I really, really want you all to understand this. Excuse me. It's increased fines. That is what they are doing. So I want you all to sit down. You see on screen? It's increased fines. That is what is taking place. This is how they are generating revenue. No new taxes, but increased fines. This is what I want to let you understand. Also, he raised the issue of the landlord business surcharge, saying that repeated extension of the registration deadline was evidence of the government incompetence. Of all the person who is saying this, you think Colin and Bert come out and saying this makes sense? When they introduced property tax, that was a new tax under the PNM administration. A new tax. The UNC administration came in and said, you know what? You work hard and build your house. You're paying a loan on your house. We, the government, don't need to tax your house. You're not making money from your house because your house is your palace. It is your domain. But Cloggenberg saw your private house as a money-making business. But you know what he left out? He left out the people who was renting their property to make an income. Remember when he was putting up his 5 or 7-story building? And he deducted tax. Do you remember that? From those who have multi-story building, they would pay no tax. They're generating an income to put in their pocket, but they're tax-free. While the man who take a loan to build his house have to pay tax. I want to let you understand the difference. So when the UNC administration came into power, they removed tax on your private property. And what they did? They introduced tax on commercial. If you're renting your building, you're earning money, you will pay a tax. That's what they did. And that was a new tax to who? The renters. Or rental. Call a good night.
Good night, sir. That is well said. That is well said. That's well said. I support you 100%, sir. You know, what you are saying there for people to understand.
Correct.
Is, you know, it's a perceived rent. You have a house, what it could have rented for, as opposed to what the UNC is doing. What is your actual rent when you rent, you know, reality. Great. Concerning the state of emergency, sir, what I don't understand, why doesn't the media, I am to assume that the media have sensible people when they say there is no reduction in crime and the murder rate. Sir, the murder rate was 625. That is what was classified. I was made to understand there was over 50 more cases that was unclassified, whether it's murder or not. So probably was in the vicinity of 700. Now you look, we are halfway already. We're just about 150 or something murder. So how could they say in all that, you know, I don't know if they're being gaslighted by the PNM or the opposition or whatever. And second, sir, you know, they say they don't have no crime plan. The SOE is working, so, you know, people say we don't want a police state, that it is better to have a police state rather than have a criminal state. And secondly, when the UNC brought out that ZOSO bill, said that, listen, there's a SOE and curfew in one, but not for the country, but for special areas where they would flush out the criminals. The PNM opposed it, and the independent PNM opposed it as well. So what you're talking about now, when you come in, you know everything that is going to bring back this country to sanity and to, you know, to some sort of good living. The PNM is opposed to it. Why is it that they are opposed to all these kind of nonsense? You know, it is time that they take a backseat, sir, and let the right-thinking citizens, the SOE is helping the law-abiding citizens, so everybody should come out and support it. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, According to Imbert, the Inland Revenue Division could face significant challenges processing applications from what he estimated to be about 100,000 landlords. Now Clark Imbert is talking about inland revenue. Now he's talking about a significant challenge. What about when he introduced property tax? And there are thousands of homeowners had to pay property tax. Colin Imbert wasn't studying that it would be a challenge on the Land Revenue Division. He wasn't studying that. But now it is a problem. It's a problem to him. But I have the perfect answer for him, Zip them out and stay quiet. That's all you had to do. You had your time and you laugh at the bygone and the pack-troy people selling in the market. So zip your mouth. Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program as usual and welcome back. But the citizens of this country, when you speak to intelligent citizens with knowledge who spent years in national security, they will tell you the SOE no impact at all on crime in this country. Now, the PNM used to say people judge crime on murders. That is not so. That was their version of crime and so on in the country, that they judge crime based on murders. That was their version of it. So what happens today? There are crime every day in this country that people even know about. The little parlor have been robbed, the the coconut vendor have been robbed, home invasion every day is taking place in this country, and people losing focus of that and thinking about murders. Yeah, fine. When this present administration came into office, there were 630 murders. Yeah, but out of the 630 murders, there were 62 of those murders should have never happened, as what we are seeing today, domestic issues, a stray bullet kill someone, or they put a hit on someone, but the rest of them should have died. They are no good. They are criminals, they are members of gangs and things, so they should have been emancipated from the face of the earth. So Rowley told us about criminals in jacket and tie. Today, what we have is people in jacket and tie in this administration who are connected to the past administration, protecting them from being killed and going to enrich them, because when they are being released under the SOE, they're going to sue the state and get money. They will be enriched because there are no charges against them. Nobody in this country could prove that they are gang members. You know why the gang members are in this country? In the police service. The most notorious gang members and criminals in the police service, and that have to be cleaned up, else nothing good is going to happen in this country. And Roger Alexander and Gabriel explained to the citizens of this country, the police officer who killed that woman from municipal police, if he's on suspension with full pay. We want to know that. That is what we want to know. Or he has been dismissed from the service. Well, I know what I'm talking about, and the former statement I made. Look, I will let them explain this to the citizens of this country. Citizens asking questions. Explain this to the citizens, Gabriel and Alexander, before you all come and talk about crime. Right? Mr. Said, great job. You keep up the good work you are doing. Thank you. God bless you, my friend.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, before we go for this break, Imbert further argued that making landlord information public, accessible, would have posed private and security risk. No, Imbert. It's not so. Don't come and try to bamboozle the citizen heads of Trinidad and Tobago. Don't do that. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com. When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago Nurses Association, TTNNA, President Ida Stewart, is warning that the healthcare workers may consider protesting outside the minister's home if restriction under the state of emergency prevent demonstration in additional allocation. Stewart said, members of the association have suggested alternative protest sites as frustration grows over both parties' restriction and the lack of clarity surrounding salary increase for regional health authority workers. Listen to this, viewers.
A number of our members have suggested alternative venues used previously by other unions, inclusive of the OWTU, where they went to ministers' houses. So that's an option. That hasn't been removed, and that is unfortunately the challenge, where when the politicians block persons from protesting in the normal workplaces these politicians work within, you relegate persons to find alternative sites which may not be palatable to the very said point.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the comments come as unions continue to object to regulation introduced under the state of emergency that limits protests in parts of Port of Spain and other designated area. He said the association plans to hand-deliver a letter to Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar on Tuesday requesting a meeting with the protest restriction expected to be within the main topic of discussion. Meanwhile, Communication Workers Union Secretary the Secretary General, Joanne Ogier, said the union condemns the no protest zone implemented. However, Government House leader Barry Padarat stated that hatred for United National Congress, racism and prejudice is now the issue fueling threats about protesting outside of government minister's home. Barry, come on now, man. I cannot believe you said something like this. You in government too long, Barry, to be making quotes or assumptions like this. Don't get carried away with power, Barry. Don't. Always remember, and I want you to remember, don't lose touch with the people as Clungenberg did. That is why he on the opposition. We have a call? Call good night.
Hi, good night, Saieed. Oh God, Mr. Saieed, it's so ridiculous in this country now. Just yesterday I learned about the 12-year-old girl. What kind of monsters living among us in this country? Oh God, just imagine this, a 12-year-old child have been raped by monsters. I have to call them monsters, Mr. Saieed. A 12-year-old child don't even know anything. Oh God, all you rape a 12-year-old child, all you monsters, all you wicked set of people. The child have a whole life ahead in front of her, and that is what to the child. Oh God, Mr. Saieed, it's so hurtful. It's so hurtful and so painful to stomach this sort of crime that's taking place in this country, Mr. Saieed. Mr. Saieed, I always say it's young man for them to people, because people are this crime country. Sometimes some getting up free. Tell me.
Ma'am, I do apologize. I do apologize. We will have to cut you. We are getting a lot of feedback here. I do apologize, but I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to finish the story. In a statement, Padarat said, to suggest going to the home of public officials to protest is nothing short of harassment, an attempt at intimidating or intimidation of an unacceptable conduct. Barry, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand something. What is the real reason for the extension of the SOE? Is it that you all are afraid that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago will come out in volumes to protest in the streets? Because of the fact that you all went back on all your words during all your campaign, all you said ABC, but actually the citizens are seeing E, F, and G. So is the state, the SOE, is it to prevent the citizens from actually protesting on the streets? Because 1 year now, Kamala was never at a post-cabinet meeting. 1 year now, apparently she took the pattern of Modi, India's Prime Minister. No show. We can't see her. Messages being sent to her, no answer. If you do get an answer, it's best you didn't send a message. So is the real reason for extending the SOE is to keep the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago off the streets? Is it to keep us locked down in such a way that we cannot protest? Because criminal activity is continued throughout Trinidad and Tobago, you know. It is being continued. It is. And the only thing the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago cannot do is let their voice be heard, because under the SOE it is what? Trinidad and Tobago, it is what? It is suspended. It is suspended. So I ask myself today, when I heard that the government wants to extend the SOE, is it to muzzle the citizens' mouth? Is it? Because I cannot think of no other reason for extending an SOE. Because clearly it is not working. The only thing it is working against is the law-abiding citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, because our voice cannot be heard. It cannot be heard. And you know, as Saieed say it as he see it. No pull strings. I have no friends that say, well, you know what? This falling in the garden and I had to retract that and this one go get vexed with me. No, I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have that. So I am asking this question. Is the SOE being extended to muzzle the citizens' mouth from protesting? Otherwise, trying to make a we, the citizens would have been on the streets every single day protesting. Union would have come out. Nurses would have come out. Taxi driver would have come out. Now, I wasn't here last week to do a live, but the protest that took place and the police came out, I'll tell you something. Remember back in 2020, I believe, when they had the protest in the Savannah and the police had to use tear gas to run innocent people home? I wonder if Marvin Gonzalez remember that. Marvin, did you remember that? You want to talk about protest and protest and protest. Imagine under an SOE, there was a protest with the opposition in Sawa. In Sawa. But a murder took place down in the Erin area. You know, no member went down. No opposition MPs went down. It's such a sad thing. So when I look at that, I say, well, wait now, boy. Back in 2020, I believe it was, the citizens of Trinity kept a protest in a Savannah and tear gas came out. Riot squad came out. Pepper spray came out. But the opposition wants to talk about a protest held in Port of Spain. They came out to support that protest, but they forgot. They forgot when the police and the riot squad came out with tear gas and pepper spray for the same citizen. Such a sad thing, eh? I am saying this tonight to remind you all of what took place when the PNM was in power. Caller, good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night, my friend.
Yes, sir. I just want to touch on two things there, right? You were talking concerning input, right? And the inland revenue. Let me ask you one question, right? Did the inland revenue get any difficulty collecting property tax from the citizens last year? They didn't get no difficulty, right? And the landlords is way less than the property tax.
Correct.
So I don't understand what rubbish she's trying to feed people, right? Let me tell you something. The next thing I want to talk about, and I want to be brief, right? People vote against the PNM because they wanted change.
Correct.
Right? Because Rowley was saying that it had extra judicial killings and with the police and everything.
Correct.
People vote against that. Right? People vote against the murders, the gang violence. Let me tell you something. We don't know what will be taking place behind closed doors when all these police, all these commanders, everybody having a meeting. We don't know what is the objective. We don't know what directive these people are getting from the ministers and whoever it is in charge, the commissioner of police.
Correct.
These fellas going all day to face monsters and all, they don't understand that. So them going all day on guard. We don't know what has happened with this fella and this girl for the police to shoot up that car from Maloney till St. Augustine. Everybody jumping on a train now to beat the police down. We don't know what caused that.
True.
All they vote against crime. The police working on all their favor now. All they're protesting against that. All they had to make up all their mind weight is all they really want. All they know vote all the PNM. And the person that leading the protest going up on a PNM platform.
Correct.
Not making any sense. You know
I understand what you're saying.
You're going back on a PNM platform to promote them. All they had to make up all their mind what they want in this country, but either all they want change or they don't want change. And let me tell you something, side before I go to the government of this country. Let me tell you something. All they went on a platform and let's tell people that all they're going to pass stand your wrong legislation.
Correct.
The Prime Minister come out with your own mouth and say you don't want a firearm, not apply it. So why is the commissioner still turning on people right now for firearms?
I hear this now. I ask myself that.
No, I want to know if you're telling people one thing, why the commissioner turning on people that have all the requirements for a firearm? Why are they still doing that? And then when the election comes next 4 years, and all they end up in opposition, all they going to want to know why.
Correct.
All they have to come out and be honest with the people. Why? Let me tell you something, side before I go. to approve somebody firearm, don't take nothing more than a signature, you know.
Correct.
That's it, you know. You have to pay no money, you know. The money coming out from the person who applying. It's coming out from their pocket, you know, not from the state, you know.
Sometimes
the only thing the state getting from a man getting a FUL is more revenue, you know.
Correct.
Because a man has to go and buy a firearm, then he has to go and do training.
Yes.
Then every year he has to buy ammunition. Then every year he has to renew. Come now, man, they use all their brain now, but if they want revenue, approve people firearm and let it go their way. Simple as that. Any outside, I don't want to take up too much of your time, brother. You enjoy your night.
Thank you, my friend. You see, and I've been asking myself this, you know. You want to fix crime, but we have more bandits on the street with illegal firearm that they can't seem to stop from coming in Trinidad and Tobago, but you want to clamp down on a man who need a firearm to protect his business. And when a bandit come into his place now, and the homeowner chop up the man, all you vex with the man, all I want to lock up the man. All I want to lock up the man. So I ask myself, revenue will be generated with a firearm holder compared to a man who have an illegal firearm. The government not raising no revenue. Now, when 10,000 homeowners or businessmen get firearm, that is 10,000 firearm need bullet. That is 10,000 holders needs training every month. Is that not generating revenue? Is that not generating revenue? No wonder why other countries, they're giving their citizens firearm. They're giving you a license to kill and license to defend yourself. Every month you're going for a training. It's obvious you need bullets. You need. You see, I'll tell you this, not every government minister holding a position have the intellect, you know. I am in finance. Finance is my field, right? We are offering 7%. Real Talk Financing is offering you 7% on a fixed deposit. What we are doing, we are generating funds for our company, and we are also giving back to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. You see, I, Saieed, know how to generate funds. I know how to give back to the citizen. Right now, Real Talk Financing, let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. We are leading the way in fixed deposits right now. You know why? We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is giving back to the citizens a lot more than any other financial institution. I am telling you that. I'm telling you that. Let me tell you something. I have over 30 years experience in the financial industry. Over 30 years experience. I didn't come out just so, you know. I am the president of a financial institution that is recognized worldwide. Let me tell you something. Real Talk Financing with 7% interest. Let me tell you something. We are being recognized worldwide for this. Worldwide. We are giving back to the citizens more than they have ever gotten from all financial institutions maybe for the last 2 or 3 decades. We are doing that. Why? Because we care about the citizen. We care about their investment. We want them to enjoy their investment, their hard labor, cash in their hand. We want them to enjoy that. Go for a trip. You study now, you had this lump sum of money put on, and to go for a trip now, you had to dip in it. No, but when you make an investment with us here, it's interest up front in 14 days. You ain't getting that no way. So you could take your interest and you could go for a trip. You could pay down on a vehicle. Trinidad and Tobago, we are the only one doing it. The only one in Trinidad and Tobago that is doing it. And just now, when we go in Panama, Real Talk Financing will be the only financial institution in Panama doing it also. We'll be doing it. You know why? We know the citizen wants a higher return on their capital investment. We know that. I know that. 30 years in the finance industry. Look at this. Look at where we are today. Look at where we are today. Trying to make, let me tell you something now. It's only a man who does think out of the box will give you this kind of offer, you know. I just don't think in the box, you know. I just think out of the box, you know. So when somebody here 7% interest on a fixed deposit and again interest up front, but what them doing to make money? Trust me. God is good. God is good. So Trinidad and Tobago, after almost a week of a little setbacks, a little delay, I've been traveling a lot recently also. There are outside business that Real Talk is doing. I will give you a lot more on it in the coming days, in the coming weeks. We are also expanding in Panama. I showed you registration. I just one or two little nicks and knacks before we open in Panama. But nevertheless, Real Talk Financing, we are a growing financial institute and we are recognized, we are certified, we are FIU approval. So we're here to treat you better than any other financial institution. Remember that. Remember that, Trinidad and Tobago. That is why we are leading. We are leading in the fixed deposit arena. Also, if you're looking for a loan, it's not a problem. Just contact our office or contact me 2386716 or 2677325, Trinidad and Tobago. We can set up some business. Let me tell you something. Within 24, 36 hours, there's cash in your hand. Cash in your hand. So viewers, about 2 minutes, 1 minute. So Trinidad and Tobago, we have 2 minutes left, but I just want to highlight this before we go. Commissioner of Police, Alistair Grovero, have stated that Trinidad and Tobago Police Service does not oppose protests organized by citizens. This comes amid recent criticism for police action to dispense crowd gathered for recent peace walk in Port of Spain. The commissioner clarified that police decision to intervene in the 19 protests for 19 bullets demonstration, which raised concerns about the handling of Joshua Samaru shooting case. Listen to this, viewers.
That protest actually had about 15 or 16 protest demonstrations in front of police stations prior, but they were all held within the law and they were all done in the right way. Thus, when it reached to the point of it becoming a little adversarial and against what the emergency powers regulation dictates, that is when the police had to step in and take decisive action. It was bandied about into the public. You don't really need permission to protest. All right? What you do, you notify the Office of the Commissioner of Police. In some cases, some people have a sporadic protest, but there are means and ways in which you protest that could be offensive to the law.
So you see, Trinidad and Tobago, 16 protests without anything. It's just they cross the line with this one. So viewers, I've come to the end of my program for tonight, but there's a run of this program tomorrow. We'll be right back another night. Real Talk with Saieed as we go live again. Until then, be safe.